Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday on this day. We had quite a Sunday, friends. And it's time to go over a few notes from the last few days after watching film, news. There's a lot of bad and some good. So we'll go over that. And we'll start off with the bad. We'll get that out of the way. But before we go there, shout out to the fans who watch this channel. Minnesota fans, you're awesome. Hey, we gave you guys a run. You guys took care of business. Great game. But thanks for being very kind. The Minnesota fans are kind people, let me tell you, on this channel. I don't know about anywhere else, but let me tell you something. The Minnesota fans have pointed out a few things. From their own mouth, we got our quarterback. From the Minnesota fans' own mouth. They understood we have our quarterback. They're not being toxic like our own fans are. Before I even get into the notes, this is insanity. The Chicago Bears fan base can be some of the best, nicest people, and absolutely some of the worst. I mean, you could have a better conversation with a Packer fan, a Detroit fan, or a Minnesota fan by far in comparison to these Caleb Williams versus Justin Fields fan base. It is ridiculous. This whole Justin Fields is trash. Caleb Williams is trash. The team, my friends, is trash. We constantly want to put this on the same people. And it's misguided blame. So before we go into the good, I have to get this out because this is insanity. We are fighting with each other over a quarterback who no longer is here. And then trying to attack fans by saying that your boy Caleb Williams is trash. No, he's not. The fans of the Minnesota Vikings and fans of Green Bay said your boy looks better. There's promise. There's future. We almost beat our division rivals. It was right there. Compared to the other games where we couldn't even put up a touchdown. We couldn't even score a touchdown, friends. There was one game where we scored 3 points all game. 3 points all game against not good teams. What was it, the New England Patriots? Would you put New England Patriots in the same category as the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings? I am beyond myself to think that when you see Caleb Williams play better against Green Bay, who is a good team, but Minnesota is a great team. And we almost beat them. Both of those teams. It was right there. But why did we lose those games? Because of one play? Games are often, yes, decided with inches and to the last play. But my friends, this is leadership and coaching, which I've been preaching and saying for the last 12 weeks. The coaching is atrocious. So we're going to go into some of the bad from last Sunday's game. We're going to try to fly through this because I don't want to be a 20-minute video. I deleted the last one from Monday. I just didn't even post it. I was so upset at our fan base for being so negative on Caleb Williams because he took the sack at the end of the overtime. Without Caleb Williams, it wouldn't even have been a tie. Because the defense was giving up huge chunk plays. Monstrous. And I'll tell you why in a minute. You're not going to believe what we have discovered. From the Minnesota fans, the Minnesota Vikings players themselves. We'll get to that in a minute. First off, 7 penalties for 80 yards. 80 yards and penalties. And I said it again during the game to myself in my notes. These penalties are killing our momentum. In the first 3 quarters, especially the first half, drops and penalties all over the place. I have to ask, is that Caleb Williams' fault when a lineman jumps? Is it Caleb Williams' fault when someone commits a holding penalty? Is it Caleb Williams' fault when somebody drops a football? When it comes right to their hands? But then he overthrows. When he overthrows, which rookies do, he's going to get torn up. But what about all the drops? 5 that I counted. I think there's 6. 2 by Keenan Allen, 1 by DeAndre Swift, and 1 terrible one by Cole Kmet. Did you guys catch that one? In his hands, to his chest, to in between his legs, to the ground. Ridiculous. And he owns it. He knows he did it. Keenan Allen, he was like, my bad. Didn't turn his head around fast enough. Ball was in his hands. Dropped it. Earlier in the game, it was a route on the left. Right through his hands. That's what he gets paid millions of dollars to do. Catch the ball. This is the NFL. Defense played wrong coverages. We'll get to that. In crucial moments. Too soft. Eberflus. Caleb overthrowing and sacks. Still an issue that can get cleaned up over. The overthrows is my only real concern. No interceptions for, I believe we're on 5 games. I got to look at that. How many games it's been since he's thrown an interception? He's been protecting the ball. He hasn't been committing turnovers. That's a good sign. Okay? But he's not, no one's crowning him king or hero. You got to give the guy time. If we gave Justin Fields 3 years, we got to give this man 1. It is the trash heaps that are getting thrown at Caleb. The young man is resilient. Because I'd never want to play for this city. With this fan base, I'm sorry, even though I'm a fan, true blue, to play for Chicago, to deal with the fickle fans, one day you're a hero, one day you're the worst, it goes all over the place. The consistency, my friends, is the coaching and the ownership is always the problem. We haven't seen a Super Bowl for 35 years. Over. 6 years since we've been to the playoffs. It's been 6 years. When's the last time we won one? 2012? It's been a long time, friends. We're in 2024. We have no room to run our mouths about this quarterback until we can get a coach who's competent. We'll keep going. Going for 2-point conversion the first time was a huge mistake. Because then he was forced later to have to make one. Do you see? He was forced. I know I misspoke last week about my math. I was off. I was upset, frustrated over this loss. He should have gone for the kick. Instead, in the first time for the 2-point conversion, he left 2 points on the field. Instead of going for the kick, he has no trust in his kicking team. Or he's trying to play math in his head, thinking we're going to complete 2 2-point conversions and win the game. That is insanity. With 12 minutes left in the game. There wasn't 3 minutes left in the game. It was the beginning of the fourth quarter. Kicked a field goal. Bad move. Eberflus. Would have won the game. The wind blows fast here in Chicago, friends. It blows fast, and it was Caleb's turn. The week before, it was the block kick. A few weeks prior, it was the Hail Mary. Before that, it was Shane Waldron who couldn't get this offense going. For those 2 games, it's been a nightmare. But we're gonna get through this. Okay, there's some crazy stuff. The last thing about the Minnesota Vikings safety, he said that this is from the Minnesota Vikings safety. He said the linemen leave too much space in their gaps. They give up a lot of penetration in that area. From film, that's where they will attack. That was the plan. They assumed we'd clean that up, they said. They assumed. And from watching the tape from Green Bay, that's why Green Bay had those big chunk plays. Didn't this game look a little familiar on the defensive side of the ball? Why were the big plays being given up? And some of the runaways is because the gaps. From the Minnesota safety's mouth himself, he said this yesterday, Chicago protection is weak. That is Matt Eberflus, who is the glorified defensive coordinator. He's got 2 jobs. He can't even do the head coach right. Who is the defensive coordinator? Eberflus. Who is the head coach? Eberflus. This all falls on him. Every mistake Caleb Williams, as a rookie year, is not going to play a perfect game. Fields sure didn't. Fields fans, he is going to demolish Justin Fields' records. He already broke a record. Friends, he broke a record for the most yards thrown by a rookie. He did that on Sunday. He broke a record. The bar may be low in that stat that we've never had really good rookies or whatever. But he's still the best rookie we've ever had, period. And so the Justin Fields fan base, he's better. He's better than him. With a garbage coach, which they both had, and a garbage O-line, which they both dealt with. It doesn't matter if you got Justin Jefferson and the best Megatron and the best receivers you've ever seen in history. If you have a bad offensive line, when in the history of the NFL did stud wide receivers and a solid tight end win Super Bowls? I'd love to find someone who knows that answer. It doesn't exist. Coaching, defense, quarterback, offensive coordinator, everyone's on the same page. Both sides of the ball, special teams. People who win Super Bowl, they're not getting their kicks blocked over back-to-back games. Friends, we hyper-focus on one person. The wrong one person. The fish stinks from the top. Ownership, the president, Ryan Poles has a lot to do with this, and Eberflus. They're the real cancer of this team. But there's some good. Caleb's a stud. He played well. I'm critical of quarterbacks. Very critical. After I dealt with Cutler for those 7 years, friends, if you're not old enough, or if you are old enough to go through that, that was brutal. The quarterback era was really rough. Then we had to deal with Trubisky, who was great his first year, or basically his second year, because his first year, he only played 7 games under John Fox. With Nagy, we went to the playoffs. The next year, we went to the playoffs. With Trubisky, hey, we went to the playoffs twice. With Justin Fields, we were never even in the playoff race, hardly, those 3 years. And it's not, I love Justin Fields. I wanted him to stay. I wanted to build a team around him. Build up that O-line. Build up that defense. Do what you did with Jared Goff. Give the man some more time. And then look at Lions now. The first year with Lions, Goff was terrible. The first year when they traded him over there. Now look, the second year, huge difference. Now this is his third year. He may win a Super Bowl. I think he'll be in the Super Bowl. Detroit Lions. I'm calling it out. He was much better. Throws to DJ, Moore, Swift, Keenan Allen. He used his legs, got first downs, and he broke that record. He is going to break another record. He's 3 touchdowns away from another rookie record for the franchise. He's 300 yards away from, I believe it's passing yards. And Sundays was just yards total. In passing yards specifically, he's 300 yards away. He'll break both of those records. So, right off the bat, rookie year, he's destroying Justin Fields. But it doesn't mean that Justin Fields at this moment is not better than him. At this very moment, Justin Fields is. He's got more experience in the NFL. We'll see what happens over the course of years when Justin gets back in the starter's seat. But right now, he's on the bench. So a lot of us out there, we got to relax with Caleb Williams and give the man some time. It's his rookie year under one of the worst coaches I've ever seen in my life. It matters. So 3 touchdowns away, but at the end of the day, it's Ryan Poles. And these coaches, the line of the week is, players will play the way a coach coaches. I heard that on the news, and it just blew my mind. I was like, that makes sense. It's amazing ways that's why the defense looks worse and why the offense or special teams can't finish. Why this team can't finish. It's one man, Eberflus. He's the head coach. It always falls down on the leader. I'm the leader of my family, along with the wife, with the kids. If the kids are all messed up and they had a bad reputation, it'd fall on me because I'm the head coach of the household, along with the wife. It is what it is. So now we're going to go into the rumors of Eberflus returning. That is terrible. that he may come back next year for another year. That's what's circulating around, that we're going to have some consistency with Caleb Williams and to keep this guy around. I think it's a bad idea. The defense is regressing. The offense looks better because of the offensive coordinator change. So what? He gets credit. Does Eberflus gets credit for having to go through 3 offensive play callers? He's already had to go. This is his 3rd. Getsy got fired last year, and then he had to fire Waldron. This is bad. But I don't know what we're going to do with this. If Eberflus comes back, I don't think we're going to go anywhere next year. Playoffs, maybe. I could be wrong. Time will tell. But it's been a little bit of a challenge. Thursday, 11 o'clock in the morning, we have the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, they're a 10-point favorite. Thanksgiving may be a little rough in the morning for all of us on Thanksgiving, because we're going to go over there in Detroit. And you know how we are on Sundays and road games. We have yet to win one road game on Sunday. And guess what? Newsflash. The NFL plays on Sunday. Majority of all the games. This is rough. Detroit Lions are going to give us, I like to say is they are going to expose us again and show the world who we really are that morning. And it's rough right now. But Caleb, hang in there, buddy. So far, so good. I'm critical of these quarterbacks. I'm telling you, quarterbacks is not my favorite position by far. Maybe because Chicago. I love Chicago Bears defense. I've always been that guy. You know, Urlacher was always my guy. Peanut Tillman, Khalil Mack. We can go on and on about the defense. I've always loved Chicago Bears defense. That's what made me a fan. Let's try to, who knows, have a Thanksgiving upset. I doubt it. But we're going to try to be positive through this. I mean, what else can you do through this hailstorm of a team? But, my friends, have a great Tuesday, and we'll catch you guys hopefully tomorrow. I'll do a little Detroit Lions preview to get us ready for Thursday morning. We'll catch you guys later. Have a great one. Bye-bye.